Hi, this is Navya Bal and you're watching TimesXP. What you are about to hear could mark a dangerous turning point in the Middle East. A sudden and massive escalation in Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps has unleashed the 70th wave of Operation True Promise 4. And this time, the scale is unlike anything seen before. Over 55 targets, multiple countries, and a message that's impossible to ignore. Well, the night sky across the Gulf lit up. In Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, Bahrain, Iraq, US military bases were hit with coordinated missile and drone strikes. While sirens screamed, explosions echoed, and the soldiers scrambled for covering their incoming projectile pieces through the defense systems. And this wasn't just a warning shot. This was a statement. And it did not stop there. Well, hundreds of kilometers away, in Israel, cities like Tel Aviv and Haifa came under the direct attack. Residents ran into the shelters, flames rose over the port areas, and critical infrastructure targeted. Well, there is something that we need to point out. Well, the timing. Eid, a day meant for peace, now marked by fire and fear. So basically, 55 plus coordinated targets across the region. US bases struck in 5 Gulf nations simultaneously, and Israeli cities and ports facing direct impact. With that, missiles and drones used in combined waves and IRGC warnings, stronger retaliation is coming. And this wasn't all at all random. It was strategic, a synchronized show of power, and Iran signaling that it can hit multiple fronts fast, precise, and repeatedly. And each wave is more tense than the last time. But here's where it gets even more serious. This isn't not just about just the military targets, it's about perception, it's about power, pressure. Because Iran wants the world to see that the balance is shifting and even the most fortified positions are no longer untouchable. And for the ordinary people, the impact is immediate. Families hiding in the bunkers, workers fleeing, burning the ports, and entire cities on the edge, waiting for the next siren, and that could be any time around the corner. Why? Because when the retaliation is promised, the uncertainty becomes the real weapon. Well, there's also a deeper message behind this. Well, 55 targets, 5 countries, and multiple waves. This is not just escalation, it's calculated expansion. A signal that the conflict is no longer contained. The battlefield is growing, and so are the risks. With that comes a question. What comes next? Will the US respond with forces? Or will the Israel escalate further? Or maybe the moment where diplomacy races against the destruction? Well, because the history shows us a very different story, that when a conflict reaches this level of coordination and intensity, they rarely stay limited. They either explode or they force the world to step in. Well, right now, the world is watching, waiting, and wondering how more waves are coming through.